Hi students, in today's lesson we will discuss another topic from system analysis and design subject, and the topic is participants to system development. In our last lesson we have completed the discussion on one of the important topic from this subject, which is system development life cycle. So I hope you guys have seen that video as well. Okay, if you guys have not seen that lesson, so I would just recommend you guys to watch that lesson as well. Okay, so now before coming to this topic, I just want to tell you that if you guys have not subscribed this channel yet, then subscribe it and watch this lesson completely, and if you like this lesson, then don't forget to click on the like button. Okay, so now let us start our discussion with this topic of participants to system development. Okay, so now throughout the system development activity or throughout the process of system development, there will be different types of users coming and take participation in the system development. Okay, and now in this lesson we have to, so there will be many users who will come and take participation in the system development. Here you can see I have listed down those participants. Okay, so now the users. Okay, and then second one is the management, third one is auditors and quality assurance people, then system analyst, system designers, programmers, operational personnel. So these are the various types of participants who take participation during the system development process. Okay, so now we will just see each and every of these participants one by one. Okay, so here I have started my discussion with the first participant, which is the users. Okay, so now as the first point says, most important player in the system game. Yes, user is the most important player in the system development, and each and every system has to be designed and developed by keeping the user's perspective in mind. The system development should revolve around the users. So at the time of system development, we continuously have to think whether the system will be going to satisfy the needs of the user or not. Okay, now the next point is person for whom system being developed or built. User is the one for whom we will be going to develop the system. Next point is owner of the system. Yes, client is also a user. So client will be paying us money. That's why we will be designing and developing a system for the user or the client. So ultimately the client will become the owner of that product. Okay, next one is who makes formal request for a system. Yes, user is the one who makes a request for development. Yes, initially when the user or the client wants to develop a system, then the client will approach the development team and the client will put a formal request for developing a system in front of the development team. Okay, next point is system analyst either make direct meeting or send documentation. Yes, whenever the client feels that he or she wants to develop a system, then the client will make an approach with the development team, and then client will start putting the requirements in front of the development team, and then client start putting the requirements in front of the development team in a meeting. Okay, whenever client wants the development team to develop any software, then the first thing what they will be doing is they will be organizing a meeting. In that meeting, both a system analyst and the client will sit together to have a discussion regarding the requirements. If due to some various reasons that meeting was not possible to held, then what they can do is client might send the details through email, or the client and analyst might make the interaction using video calls. Okay, or they can send the information through email. Okay, like that both the user and the system analyst can interact with each other. So now next point is, yes, here you can see I have listed down two types of users. First one is operational user and the second one is supervisory user. So what comes under operational users? Okay, all the low level employees, all various types of clerks, operational staff and administrative staff comes under the operational level users. Okay, whose work is to perform day-to-day activities. Okay, so that's what it's mentioned here. Involves clerical, operational and administrative staff. So these types of users comes under the operational users and perform day-to-day interactions with new system. The responsibility of these operational users is to perform day-to-day tasks or duties with the new system. Next point is concerned with the functions that system perform. Yes, so these types of operational users will be coming daily and they will be performing the same types of functions on daily basis. So their major concerns will be only about those functions, those tasks. Okay, so they will be interacting with the system with those functions. Okay, so that's why they will be more concerned towards these functions, because with these functions only they will be interacting with the system. Now the next one is have knowledge of specific job. Yes, since these operational level users will be daily performing the same type of tasks, so that's why they will be having enough knowledge about that job. So this is a one type of user which we normally used to call it as operational user, who is responsible in performing day-to-day activities of the system or the organization. So now we will see the second type of user, which is the supervisory user. So in this supervisory user type, so the responsibility of the supervisory user is manage group of operational users. Yes, the responsibility of this type of user is to manage or handle various operational users. And then next one is many of them are former operational users who are promoted. Yes, so before coming to the post of supervisory users, these people were also doing the same task which operational users are doing. Okay, since these users are just promoted based on their experience, but earlierly, before getting enough experience, these supervisory users were also in the operational users level. Okay, next point is they act as a middleman between system analyst and the operational users. These supervisory users acts as a middle person between the system analyst and the operational users. In what way these supervisory users are acts as a middleman? Because here system analyst will never going to directly interact with the operational users. If system analyst wants to get the details of any task, then system analyst will directly approach the supervisory users, and then supervisory users will take the data from the operational users and hand over to the system analyst. So the supervisory users are behaving as a middleman or middle person between the system analyst and the operational users. Okay, now the last one is supervisor is a full-time member of the team. Yes, since the supervisor is a responsible person in an organization or in the team, so that's why the supervisor user will be considered as a permanent member of the team. So this is the explanation for one of the participant to system development, and that participant is user. Okay, so I'm sure you guys have understood the explanation for users. Okay, now we'll see the second type of participant who will take participation in the system development activity or process. Okay, and that second type of participant is management. Okay, so now we'll see the various points in this type of participant. So system analyst likely to come in contact with different kind of managers. Yes, throughout the activity of system development, system analyst will be coming in contact with different kinds of managers, and those managers are user managers and then MIS managers. Okay, so now we'll first see what is the user manager and what are the responsibilities of that user. This user manager is a manager in charge of several people in the operational area. Yes, and in the last type of participant, which is the user, when we were discussing regarding user, we saw this operational user or operational area. So in that operational area, there will be different operational users will be working, and for supervising those operational users, there will be a supervisory user will be allocated. So that supervisory user here is been termed as user manager, because the responsibility of the user manager and the supervisory user are somewhat similar. So here this user manager is the manager in charge of several people in the operational area. So whosoever user or worker will be working under operational area, for those users, this user manager is been considered as a manager in charge. This user manager will be controlling each and activity of these operational users. Now the next point is there are usually middle level managers who wants system to produce variety of reports and short-term analysis reports. And these user managers are also termed as middle level managers, and the responsibility of these user managers is to guide and to tell the operational users to study the behavior or the performance of the business and prepare the reports based on those performance. Now we'll see the second type of manager, which is the MIS managers. So MIS stands for Management Information System Manager. So these type of managers comes above these users managers in the organization, and the responsibility of this type of MIS managers is these are the person in charge of the system development project. They will be given the responsibility of maintaining the system development project. Okay, they will be handling each and every activities and monitoring each and every activities of entire system development project, and they are also concerned with the overall management and allocation of resources. These MIS managers are responsible in managing overall management as well as allocating various resources to different departments in an organization. Okay, so this is everything about the second type of participant in the system development. So now we will see the third type of participant which is involved in the system development process is the auditor and quality assurance. So the role of the auditor will be completely based on the size of the project which you are working on and the nature of the organization. Okay, so this auditor's responsibility is to keep track whether each and every resources of an organization are properly taken care or utilized in the development of the project or not. Whether is there any mishandling of resources are taking place. So that activity of continuously keeping track to check each and every resources of an company or organization are utilizing properly or not is the responsibility of the auditor. So now the next type of participant is the quality assurance. So this quality assurance user will come into the picture once the system is been developed, and now it's the time to check whether the system is following the guidelines of the user or not. Okay, so for validating the system, this quality assurance person, or it can be a team as well, this set of people will come into the picture to test the system. Okay, now we will see the fourth type of participant who take participation in the system development is the system analyst, and he is or she is one of the most important participant in the system development, because the system analyst responsibility is to interact with each and every of these types of participants throughout the system development. Okay, so now here I have listed down some of the features or some of the points regarding the system analyst. The system analyst is a key member of the system development project. Yes, this role is the most important role in the system development project. Next is system analyst plays various roles. Okay, so as I have said, this system analyst job is the most responsible job in the system development process. So apart from doing their own duty as a system analyst, this person will be performing many other duties throughout the system development, and those duties are the system analyst needs to be act as a innovator, system analyst needs to be act as a politician, then project leader, change agent, mentor, and the system analyst will be acting as an investigator, architect, psychologist, and salesperson. Okay, so apart from doing the responsibility of their own role or profile, the system analyst also needs to perform the activities of these roles as well. Okay, so we'll be going to discuss each and every of these roles in our next lesson. Okay, so this is everything about the fourth type of participant, which is the system analyst. Now we will see the fifth type of participant in system development, and that is system designer. So here I have written down the points for system designer. System designer is the person who will receive the output of the system analysis work. Okay, so the system designer will take the entire analysis made by the system analyst and transform that analysis into the complete design of the system. Okay, so the system designer will draw the complete architecture, which includes various functionalities of the system, which depicts entire behavior of the system, and how system designer manages to design the complete architecture of the system just by following the analysis made by the system analyst. Okay, so that's what is been mentioned in this point. A system designer will take the output of the system analyst and transform that output into a design, okay, which can be taken by the programmer to develop the system. Now the next point is responsibility is to transform user requirements into high level architectural design. That's what I told you. Okay, so the responsibility of the system designer is to take the requirements of the user and transform those requirements into an architectural design, where the system designer will show the complete or entire architecture of the system. Okay, so these are the various responsibilities of the system designer. Now we will see the sixth participant who takes participation in the system development, and that participant is the programmer. So here let us see the points. System designer delivers their product to programmer. So once the system designer design the entire architecture of the system, then that architecture or the design needs to be followed by the programmer to further take the project ahead. So now the programmer needs to follow the entire design of the system designer to build the system. Next is programmer work is to write the code for modules and functionalities in an efficient manner. Yes, the responsibility of the programmer is to develop or write the code for each and every module designed in that architectural design, and those modules have to be developed in an efficient manner. There has to be proper integration between various modules with each other. So this is the responsibility of the programmer. Okay, now we will see the next and the last type of participant, which is the operational personnel. Okay, now we will see the last and the final participant who take participation in the system development, and that one is operational person. Okay, so now this operational personnel responsibility is for system maintenance in an organization. Okay, so the responsibility of this person, or it may be a single person or it may be a team in an organization, whose responsibility is to maintain the systems, to provide maintenance service to the system and perform various tasks in an organization in terms of system maintenance, such as telecommunication network, and then maintaining security of the computers, and then provides security to data as well as the running programs inside the system. And this is also one of the participant in the system development. Okay, so these are the various participants who take participation throughout the system development. So with the efforts of all these various participants throughout the system development, a software will be developed or a system will be developed. Okay, so this is the complete explanation for various participants who take participation in the system development. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood, and that's all for this lesson, guys, and thanks for watching.